Hello children, it is me, McGrouch. And I have noticed a small issue with the support weapons that I've been using up to this point. Sure, they're powerful, and fun, and explosive, but one thing they all seem to lack is precision. Any old Helldiver can kill a Hulk with an EAT, but I want to kill it in a way that shows my skill. And if I can't kill it in a skillful way, then I want my weapon to kill it anyways after I mag dump into it. Luckily, we have a support weapon that fits into just such a niche, the anti-materiel rifle. This is essentially the Da Vinci surgical of Helldivers. No other support weapon allows you this level of precision. I could do surgery with these bullets. Painful, lethal surgery. You can tell it's precise because instead of alternative fire modes, it has variable zoom. 50M, 100M, 200M. That's basically 0.2 kilometers, which is basically miles. That's so much distance for me to never, ever fucking use. Yeah, even though this gun acts like it's a sniper, it's not. It's an anti-materiel rifle. So instead of sniping, you're going to be more quickscoping. And given the recent announcement of BO7, we're probably going to be losing our best quickscoping Helldivers to the darkness that is Activision Blizzard, which means then our collective quickplay roster is probably going to be a little bit leaner for a while. This means that you must become the 2013 MLG quickscoping pro that we all know you can be, because it is a rarity to be able to use this weapon at 20 meters, let alone 200. Enemies in this game, including the ones that we normally think of as being long-ranged, just love to be standing real close to you. So close that ADSing is not a real option that you have available to you. The only option available then? No scoping. That's right, no scope. Just power of God moving through you, guiding your muzzle and pointing it towards heaven with every shot. This is the key aspect you need to keep track of when using this weapon without a scope. Recoil. You could try and learn how to pull down at the right pace to counteract the recoil, but that would take time, and worse yet, skill. I opt for option 2, waiting for it to reset back to where it was before. This only leaves the question of how you actually aim when you don't have a crosshair, because in third person, this gun does not have a crosshair. I say, go with your gut. That's what I do. I wait until I feel like the muzzle is pointed at roughly the right spot, and then I pull the trigger. But how many times do I pull the trigger? Well, that depends on the enemy that I find myself facing. But in almost every case, the answer is sure to come back several. Small enemies can be dispatched in one shot. Actually, dispatching is putting it mildly. They can be rendered unrecognizable by one shot. For medium enemies, it takes 1 to 2 shots. It all depends on where you end up hitting them. If it's in a weak spot, it's 1. If it's somewhere else, it's 2. In essence, this rewards you for your precision with a gift greater than any other. Ammo efficiency. Play well and you can have your consumption of rounds. This theme is only reinforced in how you use this weapon against heavy enemies. You really need to be precise with this weapon against heavy enemies, because even though it has level 4 armor penetration, it really only wants to be used against level 3 armor. This is because of the relatively low damage that this weapon does. For instance, just because it can penetrate some parts of the Factory Strider does not mean it is the weapon you should be using to kill a Factory Strider. Admittedly, this weapon is very useful at defanging the Factory Strider by taking out its jowl turrets, but after that, you still have to kill the fucking thing, which, shooting it in the eye or the foot, is gonna take like 2.5 magazines. You are much better off taking some kind of alternative for dealing with these very large enemies. This could be a 500 kg, this could be a recoilless. It could be anything so long as it deals with those super heavies. However, there is a group between medium enemies and very heavy enemies that most people just call heavy enemies. The AMR is very good against this group of enemies, but only if you are good with it. At no other point does the poor performance penalty present so perfectly its perverse presence. That is to say, if you don't hit shots, you will be running out of ammo. A lot. The best enemy in this category that you can face? Hulks. Just shoot them twice in the visor. A task that, while doable, is kind of a pain in the ass because Hulks bob up and down, making hitting them in the visor a difficult task, especially as they begin to get a bit too close for comfort. Still, with a little bit of practice and a good splash of luck, you should be able to kill Hulks fairly quickly and with some consistency. Even if you can't get the 2-tap, if you keep shooting, it will go down eventually. It might seem like you should use the same approach for chargers. Just shoot them in the head until it explodes. And while that is certainly an option, I do not find it to be the best. My personal preference is to target one of its legs and just keep shooting till the leg is gone. This brings us to the issue of how the AMR interacts with specific factions. And while how good it is varies from faction to faction, I am happy to report that this gun is always pretty good. It can kill bugs, bots, and squids all pretty well, serving to kill small, medium, and large enemies, but the area where this shines is undoubtedly with medium enemies. This gun excels at just 2 tapping rocket devastators, at 1 tapping illuminate jetpacks, and at killing stalkers before they can get to you. This is an anti-medium enemy weapon with heavy enemy applications, and unlike so many other support weapons that we look at on this channel, this one does not make you carry a backpack. That's right, you get all 6 mags with no strings attached. This also means that your back is free to carry whatever the mission calls for. A drone on bug missions, a shield on bot missions, and whatever the hell you're supposed to take against illuminates for illuminates. Of these 3 factions, I would say that the AMR is best utilized against the bots because of their long-range proclivities. Just because you will often find yourself using this weapon at close range does not necessarily mean that you should completely avoid using this weapon at long range. Against the bugs and illuminate, though this weapon certainly has the damage necessary to deal with them, their tendency to rush you with a bunch of small guys means that this weapon's non-explosive nature makes it a bit inefficient. This brings us to the issue of what your loadout should be with this weapon. And in this area, I suggest that you bring as many explosives as you possibly can. You already have the AMR. That's more precision than you will ever need. What you are lacking in then is AoE damage. So I'm taking crossbows, I'm taking eruptors, I'm taking ultimatums, and I'm taking 500 kgs. Anyway, that's the anti-material rifle. It's anti-material, and it's a rifle. A highly precise instrument that you will use most in situations where precision does not matter at all. I like it. Give it a try in your next time. Bye.
Subscribe to me, coach. 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 Subscribe.